You know that feeling, right? You're settling into your airplane seat, maybe feeling a little peckish,
Hmm.
and the snack cart rolls down the aisle, and what do you see?
Uh-oh. Yeah. Those little
Neat
boxes.
little boxes of food that, well, let's be honest, they often just sit there.
Totally uneaten. Or worse, you eat them and regret it.
Exactly. They're usually expensive or kind of unappealing, or, yeah, often both. It's just this common travel frustration.
It really is. A moment of snack disappointment at, what, 30,000 feet?
Pretty much. And you have to wonder, why do we just accept that?
That's a great point. We plan so many other parts of our trip, but food often feels like, well, like an afterthought.
Absolutely. So, okay, our mission today on the deep dive is basically to reclaim that control.
Right.
We're going to figure out the secret to bringing your own snacks. Delicious ones, budget-friendly ones, snacks you actually want to eat.
And crucially,
And crucially, yeah, snacks that follow the rules, like the TSA's 311 rule.
which, just as a reminder,
Right, that's the liquids, aerosols, gels rule. Each container has to be 3.4 ounces or less, and they all have to fit in one single quart-sized bag.
got it.
So this deep dive is really your shortcut to a much better flight experience.
Well,
I'm always looking for these kinds of travel hacks, so I'm really interested to see what our research dug up.
exactly. And look, it's not just about saving money or like satisfying a sugar craving. It's about making the whole journey smoother.
Yeah.
Well, what's really fascinating is how the plane cabin itself, the dry air, the lower pressure, actually messes with your senses.
Oh, right, like how things taste different.
Precisely. Especially taste. So knowing what snacks will actually deliver, flavor and satisfaction up there,
Yeah.
that's a real game changer. It makes the trip just nicer.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's unpack this. Where do we start with these smarter, tastier in-flight food choices?
Okay, let's kick off with something savory, something with a bit of staying power. Beef jerky.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Turkey.
Yeah. And what our deep dive found is that it's strong flavors, savory, sometimes spicy. They really cut through that dull taste thing you get at altitude.
Right, that makes sense. So it actually tastes good up there when other things might seem bland.
Exactly. It's surprisingly
So
satisfying.
it's more than just protein. It's like it holds its own sensorially.
Interesting. I have noticed how bland food can taste on a plane. And our research showed quite a bit of variety too, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's way beyond just, standard beef jerky now.
Like what?
Well, you can find bacon jerky, chicken, lamb, buffalo, even turkey jerky.
Wow.
And some brands, Epic Bars came up, they do these interesting options with different spices, even fruits mixed in. It almost feels like a proper mini meal.
Huh.
Plus, it's super convenient, right? Small package, easy to stash in your carry-on.
A mini meal feel from jerky. Okay. I'm
Right.
intrigued. But what if you want something maybe lighter
Mm.
or sweeter just for energy?
Right. Well, our research really highlighted dried fruit. Super versatile choice.
Okay, yeah. Healthy too. Definitely.
Yeah.
Healthy, naturally sweet. And the brilliant thing is how customizable it is.
How so?
You just buy a few different types, mango, pineapple, cranberries, whatever, and mix up your own perfect blend.
Oh, I like that, like a little tropical mix or berry blast.
Exactly. You make it exactly how you want it. Plus, you get good fiber, natural energy.
Hmm.
It's fun.
Crafting your own snack mix. Yeah, that definitely elevates the experience. Okay, but vegetables. The outline mentioned veggie on the go. That sounds ambitious for a plane.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm.
But what really surprised me in the source material was the sheer variety of dried veggie snacks out there now.
Really? Like what?
Seriously, we're talking dried, seasoned, dehydrated, roasted, almost any kind of bean or vegetable.
Okay.
The research specifically mentioned things like roasted chickpeas, great for crunch kale chips, sprouted flax crackers, even dried broccoli and seaweed snacks.
Dried broccoli on a plane.
I know, but think about it. Unique textures, different flavors, a nice change from the usual stuff.
Mm.
And they pack a nutritional punch without taking up much space.
Okay. That satisfying crunch idea at altitude. I can see the appeal there. Definitely surprising, though. Now, what about early flights? And you need something more than just bad coffee. Breakfast options.
Yeah, good question. For mornings, classic granola bars are always an easy win. And nowadays they come with all sorts of fancy toppings and interesting flavors.
True.
But if you want something a bit different, our research even found chocolate crepes in a bar form.
Wait, what? Chocolate crepes in a bar?
Yep. Apparently they exist. Perfect for a quick, satisfying bite that avoids those sad, expensive airport breakfast options. Mess-free energy boost.
Okay, that is an upgrade from an airport muffin, I'll give you that. Wow. What about just sweets? For those of us with a sweet tooth that just won't quit?
Oh, the sweet category is great. Lots of options. Think thin, delicate cookie crisps, or
Mm.
those little mini biscottis, even French pure butter cookies.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, the research noted those French cookies are particularly good with, like, in-flight tea or coffee. Adds a little touch of luxury. And if that's not enough, there's always, like, red licorice or your favorite chocolate-coated peanut candies. Simple comforts that just, well, hit the spot.
French butter cookies with coffee. Okay, now you're talking my language. That sounds like a proper treat. What about a classic savory combo? Something that feels a bit more substantial, like you said about jerky. Cheese and crackers.
Ah, the classic. And yes, it's a fantastic option, especially considering the cost savings.
Right. Cheaper than buying it on board.
Way cheaper.
Yeah.
But the real genius, according to our sources, is choosing harder aged cheeses.
Why harder cheeses?
Well, unlike soft cheeses, or frankly, the bland stuff the airline might offer, harder cheeses, think cheddar, Parmesan, that kind of thing, hold their flavor much better at altitude. Remember that taste bud dulling effect?
Ah, okay, so the flavor doesn't get lost.
Exactly. You just need a good, sturdy cracker that won't crumble everywhere. Slip them in a little baggie, you'll save a packet compared to the in-flight price. Maybe even save more than skipping a glass of wine.
Saving money over wine. Now that's a serious pro tip. So beyond cost, it's about flavor intensity and durability. Any specific cracker types recommended?
Well, yeah, something sturdy, as I said.
Yeah.
Not too crumbly, obviously, to avoid making a mess. And portioning is key to keep things individually wrapped or bagged to stay fresh.
Smart. Avoid the crumb explosion. Hey, what if you want something genuinely fresh, like a real pick-me-up that isn't processed?
Great question. For fresh and healthy, peanut butter and apple is a winner.
Classic. But the peanut butter, the 3-1-1 rule.
Ah, but here's the clever part.
Yeah.
Individual nut butter pouches. They're everywhere now.
Oh,
Totally TSA approved, no fuss with jars and knives.
Uh-huh.
Super convenient.
that is brilliant.
So you pack one of those pouches, grab a whole apple, or you could even pre-slice the apple into a zip-top bag if you prefer. And hey, if apples aren't your thing, bananas are super easy too. Great energy source.
Those pouches are a game changer for sure. Okay, and the ultimate comfort food? Chocolate? Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Seems simple enough.
Oh, absolutely. Chocolate is probably the easiest. If you need that fix, just pack your favorite bar, a Hershey's, whatever. Simple, effective. Sometimes that's all you need.
Agreed. Some things are just non-negotiable.
Yeah.
What if you're bored of standard potato chips? Need a different kind of crunch.
Yeah, if you want to branch out from regular chips, our research mentioned kettle corn.
Ooh, kettle corn.
Right. That sweet and salty thing. Apparently great for watching movies on the plane. Gives you a different texture, too.
I like that.
Another one mentioned was Annie's Cheddar Snack Mix, which is basically, cheesy crackers and pretzels mixed together. Described as way better than the standard airline snack mix.
Okay, good to know.
It just shows there's a whole world beyond plain potato chips if you look for it.
Kettle corn while watching a show. I'm definitely doing that next time. Okay, finally, the absolute travel staple. Trail mix. Endless possibilities there.
Oh, trail mix is the ultimate choose-your-own-adventure snack, isn't it? The variety is just huge.
Yeah.
Places like Trader Joe's got a specific mention for having tons of different mixes with fruits, candies, nuts, yogurt bits, granola, chocolate.
Yeah.
You name it.
Mm-hmm.
You can find a blend that hits pretty much every craving. Sweet, savory, crunchy, chewy, all in one bag. Super convenient.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. We've covered a lot of ground, a lot of snacks. What's the big takeaway for our listeners from this deep dive?
I think the main thing is empowerment, really. It just shows that with a bit of planning, just a little bit, you can seriously upgrade your whole in-flight experience.
Right.
It's about having that freedom, that satisfaction of eating food you actually like,
Yeah.
tailored to your taste, without the airline price tag or, frankly, disappointment.
Yeah, no more settling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we've seen the range
Yeah.
from, robust beef jerky that actually tastes better up there
Right, because of the flavor intensity.
to making your own refreshing dried fruit mix.
Yeah, you get that whole meal vibe with the jerky or your custom tropical blend. You can try those surprising veggie snacks like chickpeas or seaweed for crunch.
Mhm.
Even have chocolate crepes for breakfast. Or just simple pleasures like those thin cookies, mini biscotti, or your favorite chocolate bar.
And don't forget the classics. Cheese and crackers, especially harder cheeses, save money and taste great. Fresh stuff like apples and peanut butter made easy with those pouches.
Totally. Plus, exploring different ships like kettle corn or that Annie's mix or finding that perfect trail mix that has everything you want.
It just reinforces how these, well, relatively simple choices put you back in control. Travel becomes more comfortable, more enjoyable, just by tackling this one common headache.
You're not stuck with their limited, overpriced options anymore.
Precisely. You call the shots on your snacks.
It really is all about being prepared, making smart choices. Which leads to a final thought. Maybe consider how these small acts of planning, providing for yourself during travel, how that might apply elsewhere in life.
Interesting point.
Like saving money, improving experiences, making sure your preferences are met wherever you are. It kind of shows how being well-informed on practical stuff like this can ripple outwards, right?
Yeah, into broader life efficiencies, making every journey and maybe even every day just that little bit better, simply by being prepared.
Exactly. Food for thought, perhaps, for your next trip.